everyone, it's Dawn and welcome back to my channel. Well, if you were able to follow me on yesterday's or catch yesterday's video, I did a review of a mini die cutting machine and embossing folder, and I promised you I'd show you how to do the seemingly impossible today, so that's what we're going to do. This was a 5x7 embossing folder. It's one of my favourites, so I didn't want to lose it, the ability to use it. So I've cut it down to about a 3x7. I've left the length, and what I've done, I've embossed two pieces like that. Now obviously this is going to be too big for a 5x7 card, but I'll show you how we get around that and how we're going to emphasise the embossed element. So I have made a 5x7 card, and we have got a 5x7 mat, which I am going to, I've already got some double-sided tape on the back, and I'm going to lay both of my embossed panels over that, like that. Now I know what you're thinking, oh, that's going to be too wide, and you're quite right, it is too wide, but we have a trick to get around that. Never panic. So we're going to sandwich those two together like that, make sure it's all glued down. Now what we're going to do, we're going to turn it over on the back, and we are going to cut off the excess. So we're just going to cut that bit off there. This larger excess I might keep for another piece, but for now I'm going to put them to one side. And we now have a piece. Let me just get rid of all the debris and make sure we've got the card the right way round. Oh, actually it doesn't matter because we haven't got it on the card base yet. So we now have a piece like that. Now I know you can still see that line, but you won't by the time we finish. What we're going to do, we're going to actually give the embossed area a bit of a lift. I'm going to use a distress ink. In this case I'm going to use speckled egg, but you can use whatever you've got, or of course you don't have to use anything at all. You can just keep it white or whatever, or emboss it with a coloured onto a coloured card. So I'm going to use my blender, my blending brushes. And we're not going to be too worried about this. This is one of those things, you don't worry about it too much. I've got a piece of scrap paper underneath, so because I don't want it going onto my work surface. Because this ink sometimes, on some work surfaces, it's quite difficult to get off, and even when you can get it off, sometimes it'll stain. So I'm just going to, I'm not going to spritz this, I'm not going to put water on this. And I'm not too worried if it's not totally even. I just want to bring out the embossing, the embossed effect. So we're just going to use our brush, come right down to the corner, and we're just going to go over it. If it doesn't come out perfectly evenly, that doesn't really matter. For this particular card, that doesn't really matter. It's just to bring out the embossed areas. It's just to emphasise this raised area really. So I'll put a bit more on. We won't go too mad, she says. I always say that, don't go too mad, don't just keep on adding, just keep adding. And we end up going mad. So that's all I'm going to do for that. As you can see, it's not smooth, it's not even. I'm just going to use my brush and just go over it lightly. So you've still got that lovely, it's like a mottled emboss, which I actually think is quite pretty. Now, this is where we're going to make the impossible possible. We're going to use a strip of, this is just thin card. This is, I suppose you call it a cream coloured thin card. And this is 9 by 1 inches. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to, on the actual card stock. No, I'm not. It won't work that way. Okay, plan B. It worked when I was working it through. We're going to run this over here. So we're going to run that over our piece of cardstock, and we're going to put that over the top of that join, like that. And then all we do is we take that bit away, turn it over. There's always one bit that doesn't quite catch the glue stick, so we'll just pop that there. It doesn't matter because it's going on a card in a minute. So I could have cut that down, but it doesn't actually matter. So once you've done all that, you've got a piece that looks like that, and it looks like a fully 5x7 embossed complete panel, even though it's not. It looks like a complete panel now, even though we know it's not. So I'm going to bring that in. I'm going to bring my cardstock in, or my card base, which is also a 5x7. Now, right. 1 second. Actually, do you know what? We might get away with that. We might just get away with that. I was just going to dash across the room and get another runner tape, but we might just get away with that for the purposes of this video. So let's just pop that onto there like that. There's a tiny overhang. Where are my scissors? There's so much debris on this table, it's just not true. So let's just turn that over. There's a tiny bit of overhang. So I'm just going to cut any overhang off. And there we have our card. Oh, there's just one little tiny overhang at the bottom. I know I'm being overly fussy, but if I can see it, then so can the recipient. So any overhangs you've got, just tidy it all up so that it looks like that. So that it's now neat and tidy, and it still looks like one complete embossed panel. Now all we've got to do is embellish it. Now, if you were with me for yesterday, you will have seen me make one of these dragonflies. And all I've done is I've cut and coloured another one in the same colour, on the same colour set. So I'm going to take the backing tape off of, and I've put them onto foam pads. This is just an ordinary foam pad which I cut in half lengthways. And I'm going to put one there. I put them on foam pads because I wanted to raise them up ever so slightly. And I want the other one, if I can get the backing tape off. Oh dear. God, it's been one of those mornings from almost the moment we got up. And it doesn't look like the day's going to get much better, but never mind. It's just been so hectic. So, and I'm going to put that one there. And I've run out of tape, so I can't put the sentiment on. But I'm going to get some tape or glue, and I'm going to put that happy birthday sentiment there. So there is our card all finished with a panel which looks like a completed 5x7 embossed panel, but we know it's two pieces with a piece of card covering up the join. So there you go. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've found some tips and techniques that you can use in your own crafting. And I'll see you in my next video. And until then, thank you for watching, everyone. Stay safe, have fun, and as always, happy crafting. Bye bye for now.